Welcome to Fit Minds Friday. How did your last week's physical activity challenge go? I got a question from Susan about whether there is such a thing as too intense for aerobic exercise, and there certainly is. It's really important to listen to your body when you're doing physical exercise. So what could be moderate for you could be challenging for someone else. And that's why it's useful to monitor your activity using your heart rate. So if you want more insight into how to do that, you can check out our blog on that point over at fitminds.ca. But today we're going to look at social networks. So social networks make a huge difference. Pre-pandemic research by Angus Reid highlighted concerns about the state of our social networks in Canada. They sorted Canadians into 5 groups. 23% of us felt desolate. 10% of us felt lonely but not isolated. 15% of us felt isolated but not lonely. 31% were moderately connected, but only 22% of us felt cherished. So you put those findings up against the research that shows that a poor or limited social network increases the risk of dementia by 60%. And the startling conclusion is that almost 50% of Canadians could reduce their dementia risk if they had a better social network. So the importance of social engagement was reaffirmed by research published this month. That research shows that social engagement actually increases the structural integrity of the brain's gray matter. So simply put, if you're socially engaged, your brain is stronger. So as we come out of this pandemic and start to reconnect, it's worthwhile to consider your own social networks. So I want to ask you 3 questions. First of all, do you have a social network? Make a list of the people that you believe are part of your social network. So they can be family, friends, or acquaintances, people you regularly interact with during your day-to-day travels. And maybe you weren't moving around too much over the past year and a half, but now that you're starting to do that more, think about the people you're interacting with. And then secondly, beside each name, kind of figure out how often you connect with those people. So you could indicate when you last had contact with them, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. And then you may think that the individuals you interact with on a daily basis or the most often have the highest impact on your mental well-being. But the research actually shows that the type or the quality of the interaction is more important than the number of times you interact. So it doesn't mean that frequency doesn't matter, but what it does mean is that the quality of the interaction is more important and goes a long way to making up for lack of quantity. So obviously the best outcome would be if you have high satisfaction, high quality interactions with someone that you interact with a lot. And then the final step is when you've gone through your list of people and how often you're interacting with them, think about how satisfying you are with your interactions. So not very satisfied or very satisfied. And having positive interactions with the people in your social network is really important, but it is subjective, right? So it really is your perspective on how those relationships are and how the interactions are. So what I want you to do this week, and your challenge is to diagram your social network and spend some time thinking about how you can build and nurture them, especially as we're coming out of the pandemic and reconnecting with people that we may not have seen for a year and a half or 2 years. So if you want more information on how to do that, some more of the technical aspects, you can check out, I just published a blog on our website, fitminds.ca, on how to be more useful, or not more useful, I guess, kind of integrate more fully with your social networks, how to really nurture them and help them grow and flourish. And after all, that's what's really important for all of us. So until next time, spend the week working on your social networks. See you next week.